Have you ever had that feeling? You know the one. Your business is absolutely buzzing, your team is completely maxed out, but when you look at the bottom line, it just doesn't add up? Well, you might be stuck in a hidden trap that so many businesses fall into. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the 80-20 rule of profitability and show you how to break free. So let's kick things off with a story that might just hit a little too close to home. Meet Sarah. She's a business owner who felt like her team was constantly drowning, just buried under a mountain of support tickets. But when she finally dug into the data, what she found was staggering. A full 80% of all that work, all that stress, was coming from just 10 clients. Now that is the profitability trap in a nutshell. A ton of activity that looks like growth, but is actually just a slow drain on your resources. And Sarah's story isn't a one-off. It really points to this much bigger burning question that a lot of leaders are grappling with. How can a business look so good on the outside with revenue climbing, but secretly be struggling to turn a real profit? That's the core mystery we are going to solve together today. All right, let's get into it. First up, we need to talk about the busyness illusion. To really get a handle on this problem, you have to learn to see past all the surface-level noise and activity. And here is the main culprit, this idea of profit leakage. It's what happens when just a handful of really high-maintenance clients end up eating a massive, disproportionate chunk of your team's time and energy. Yeah, your revenue might be going up, but this leakage, it's like a silent killer, just draining your profitability right from underneath you, making all that hard work feel, worthless. And the difference this makes is huge. I mean, look at this. The average business in this industry is scraping by on a pretty thin 8 to 12% profit margin. But the top performers, they're hitting nearly double that, 19% or even more. And let me tell you, that gap has nothing to do with working harder. It's all about finding and plugging that profit leakage we were just talking about. So the big question is, how do you actually find these profit-draining clients in your own business? Well, it's time to put on your detective hat, because the data holds all the clues. You can actually get started with a really simple 3-step analysis of your support data from the past year. First, just look at the raw number of tickets per client. Who's generating the most? Then, you gotta dig a little deeper. How long is it taking your team to actually resolve their issues? And maybe most importantly, who's the one that's always calling with those emergency after-hours requests? These 3 things alone will shine a massive spotlight on your noisiest customers. But here's the thing. Raw ticket numbers, they don't really tell you the whole story. To get to the absolute truth, you need one specific metric. It's probably the single most important number for understanding true client profitability. And here it is, the effective hourly rate, or EHR. This simple number is a game changer. See, it's not about how much a client pays you every month. It's about how much you actually earn for every single hour your team invests in them. It just cuts right through the noise and gives you this crystal clear picture of which relationships are making you stronger and which ones are dragging you down. And the formula itself, it honestly couldn't be simpler. You just take their monthly recurring revenue and you divide it by the total number of hours your team spent supporting them that month. That number, your EHR, that is the key that unlocks your business's real financial health. Now, this is where it gets really interesting when you see it in action. Okay, look here. Both clients pay the exact same $5,000 a month. But client A, they're pretty low maintenance. They give you a really healthy EHR of $111. Now client B, they're a different story. They need almost double the hours, which plummets our EHR all the way down to $59, a rate that could easily be losing you money. And that's the trap. Same revenue, but 2 completely different stories for your bottom line. The financial cost is one thing, and it's pretty stark. But the damage, it goes so much deeper than just your profit and loss statement. These problem clients take a massive hidden toll on your most valuable asset, your people. Just let this number sink in for a second. 23 minutes. That's the average time it takes for someone to get their head back in the game after just one interruption. So think about it. Every single one of those urgent drop-everything requests from a noisy client carries this hidden productivity tax, a tax that your entire team has to pay. It shatters focus and it hurts the quality of work for all your clients, not just the loud one. And what happens next is this really destructive, vicious cycle. Your best people, your most expensive experts, they get completely bogged down firefighting for these low-margin clients. That means your junior staff don't get the mentoring they need, critical knowledge gets stuck with only one or two people, and pretty soon, your top talent just burns out and leaves. It's a total expertise drain. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, we've seen just how deep the damage goes. Now for the good part. Let's talk about the solution, about how you can take back control of your business. The really top-tier businesses, they don't just do this analysis once and forget about it. No, they build a system. They use a balanced scorecard, kind of like this one, to rate every single client. And they do it on an ongoing basis. It looks at their financial health, sure, but it also measures their operational impact and how well they fit with your long-term strategy. This gives them a living, breathing picture of their entire client portfolio's health. And that all leads to this fundamental shift in mindset. You really have to let this idea sink in. Not all revenue is good revenue. It's that simple. A client who costs you more in support than they actually pay you isn't just an inconvenience. They are actively harming your business and keeping you from serving your good clients the way you want. So, this all brings us to the final and most important question. Now that you have the tools to see the real story, who are the clients that are holding your business back? Answering that question, that's the very first step toward building a business that's not just more profitable and sustainable, but honestly, a lot more enjoyable to run.